Hey, good day everybody. Marcel Ernie Racing News. Today I'm doing a story from Romeo from Romania, but this time I'll be reading his thoughts as I stare out at the water here in Nelson. And so the title of Romeo's writings is "Only the Communist Leaderships in the Communist Countries Used to Paint the Disaster in Living Colors." So there's the title. Let's get on to the body. We've been through this. I myself have been through this. My parents and my relatives, we have been through this. We have seen this. And nobody can bullshit us anymore. The American communists, they lie about the failure of the United States in Ukraine. The American communists lie about NATO, pretending the United States is just a part of NATO. The truth is NATO is practically United States. The American communists lie about any brutal military intervention in any Arabic country they've been in the last 30 years. The American communists lie about the atrocities they have done in Afghanistan. The American communists lie about how they tried to get down Hugo Chavez in Venezuela and replace him with the puppet in order to have access to the Venezuelan oil. The American communists lie in what's regarding the percentage of Chinese participation to the Wall Street stock market. They don't want to admit that a huge slice of the Wall Street stock market is Chinese property. The American communists lie pretending they care about human rights in China. As long as the economical relationship between the United States and China has been brilliant, the United States didn't have any objection for the fact that ordinary convicts have been killed with a bullet in the head in front of the Chinese people on the stadiums. And this is from China's internal affair claimed by the USA. In the moment, China claimed its historical property right on Taiwan, where the microchips for the entire planet are manufactured, and the United States became suddenly concerned on the human rights in China. The American communists, they lie about their own economy in front of their own nation. Ordinary people comments on internet do not fit to the laudatory mainstream media articles regarding the American economy. The communists and capitalism Communism and capitalism have the same origin. The Jews, the Bolsheviks. So what are the Bolsheviks and what do they believe? Looking at CensorTube anyways, here on GoogleTube. The Bolshevism, derived from Bolshevik, is a revolutionary socialist current of Soviet Leninist and later Marxist-Leninist political thought and political regime associated with the formation of a rigidly centralized, cohesive, and disciplined party of social revolution focused on overthrowing the existing capitalist state. So the right wing of the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party, which led by Vladimir Lenin, seized control of the government in Russia October 1917 and became the dominant political power. So the revolutionary Vladimir Lenin seized power and destroyed the traditional Tsarist rule. The Bolsheviks would later become the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. What did the Bolsheviks want? The Bolsheviks thought the Russian government was incapable of solving the economic and social problems of Russia. Therefore, they wanted to overthrow the Russian government and replace it with Marxist communist government with socialism. So, when researching the Jewish people or heritage, is it a religion or is it a race? I think a lot of people don't really ask themselves that question. So from my perspective, it's a religion, right? It's not a race. It can't be, because there's people of all ethnicity or color or whatever. Apparently here's on just a little stat here from Jewish Americans in 2022 from a PEW Research Center, May 11th, 2021. And this is in 2022. 92% are white, 1% black, less than 1% Asian, less than 1% American Indian, less than 1% Hawaiian Pacific Islander, other, 1% white and black, 1% white and Asian, less than a percent of white and American Indian, white and Hawaiian Pacific or white and other single race. 4% is net is Hispanic, and 2% is Hispanic and white, and Hispanic and other races equal out that. Okay. So the majority of U.S. Jews identify as white, but in recent years, the journalists, scholars, and Jewish community leaders have wondered about the percentage of U.S. Jews who are Jews of color, people of color, and BIPOC, an acronym for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. So here is a book. It's called The Myth of the Jewish Race. Obviously, it's reversed for you. And so this is out of Langhai University Press, Lehigh. The Biologist's Point of View by Alan F. Korkos. More than 60 years after the death of Hitler, the defeat of Nazism, and the horrors of the Holocaust, the concept of a Jewish race is still alive and well in the minds of too many. This book is an attempt to destroy such a concept from both biological and historical point of view. To be a race, Jews would have to have been isolated from other populations. However, they never avoided crossbreeding and converted many non-Jews. In other words, from day one, Jews have married non-Jews, and therefore there is no way to genetically characterize them as a race. Nevertheless, many people find it difficult to accept that the idea that Judaism is not hereditary, but a religion, and that Jews who abandon the Jewish faith, whether they adopt another religion or none at all, are no longer Jews. Now, here is myjewishlearning.com, and, oh, we got an ad popping up. Are Jews a race? So let's just read the beginning. The short answer is no. Jews are not a race. People who identify as Jewish include individuals of enormously diverse geographic origins and physical appearances, making the idea that Jews could easily be designated a race in the sense of shared physical and biological characteristics implausible. Jews historically have defined themselves as a people, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Converts are also considered descendants of these patriarchal ancestors. Colloquially, Jews also sometimes describe themselves as a tribe. And to finish, why racial classification doesn't work. The idea of a race, whether applied to Jews or another group, is itself a problem. Generally used today to denote categories of people based on certain shared characteristics, typically physical appearance. This method of characterization was once prevalent in the scientific community, but many scientists now believe that differentiating human populations on the basis of shared physical traits is obsolete, and that racial categories are primarily social constructs with little correlation to anything science can measure. Yeah. So when you do a simple Google search, Judaism history, the history of the Jews and Judaism can be divided into 5 periods. Number 1, ancient Israel before Judaism, from the beginning of 586 BCE. Number 2, the beginning of Judaism in the 6th and 5th centuries of BCE. Number 3, the formation of rabbinic Judaism after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. And number 4, this is on actually Wikipedia, so the age of rabbinic Judaism from the accession of Christianity to political power under the Emperor Constantine the Great in 312 CE to the end of the political hegemony of Christianity in the 18th century. And number 5, the age of diverse Judaism from the French and the American revolutions to the present. Now we're going to jump around to the New World Order, the NWO, on freaking Wikipedia. It's hilarious when you search for like globalist bankers and then this pops up. The New World Order is a conspiracy theory that hypothesizes a secretly emerging totalitarian world government. The common theme in conspiracy theories about a new world order is that a secretive power elite with a globalist agenda is conspiring to eventually achieve world domination and rule the world through an authoritarian one-world government which will replace sovereign nation-states and an all-encompassing propaganda nation-states and all-encompassing propaganda whose ideology hails the establishment of the New World Order as the culmination of history's progress. Many influential historical and contemporary figures have therefore been alleged to be part of a cabal that operates through many front organizations to orchestrate significant political and financial events, ranging from causing systemic crisis to pushing through controversial policies at both national and international levels as steps in an ongoing plot to achieve world domination. And then, of course, it throws the eye in there, the triangle, the eye under the sun. Interesting. that's on Wikipedia. It's kind of so, I mean, we've all seen all the steps being pushed forward by the EU, by the UN, sanctioned by the WEF. It's kind of obvious, right? Ernie Racing News.